Circuit has good things going for it, especially the regular circuit where newer players can obtain frames in their augments fairly easily. I think that's a great addition to the game, as it's on a level that anyone can do it. It also makes farming certain frames for helmets much easier, which is a huge plus. But to someone who has all the frames and access to syndicates, on which, by the way, I have a video, check it out if you want to master 4 syndicates at a time, but when you're done with all that's left is steel pad circuit. First, let's start with the good stuff. Incarnon weapons, a lot of them are quite good. Some are broken, some are but that's the main reason people play steel pad circuit. And probably the only reason, because why would one play this? I've already ranted about how frustrating D's design of defense styles is, but that's not even the main reason I'm done with this. Since then, D's reduced waves from 5 to 3, but 3 waves of not so fun defense that now has increased eczema spawns. It does not increase the fun level at all. Even worse, if you don't get good weapons, you cry. The largest reason of me not wanting to touch the Undercroft ever again is because of that RNG choice we get it in Teshin's Cave. I get that D wants to limit our ability to find meta for this thing and cheese it, but it's just frustrating to get some frames that are at a terrible disadvantage in certain mission types. Because even though Circuit is kinda an evolution of Sanctuary, there's more to it. Exterminate, Defense, Excavation, Survival, and Void Flood. Not many frames are good at all those mission types, and despite my list of frames looking like this, where you can see I have tons of forma on everything, I still get tons of choices that force me to end early. Which is not fun. Resetting every few minutes and looking at those choices like I've pulled a lever on a slot machine hoping for a bingo, that's not really my idea of fun. Right now, there's about 50 frames in the game, and a couple of hundreds of weapons. Many are to follow, and soon enough we'll have 100 frames and 1,000 weapons. What are the odds of getting a thing you like to use or enjoy using? What are the odds that you get something where you have a decent build? Which leads me to forma discussion. Steel pad circuit really puts a pressure on the forma use. You just have to have good builds. You have to have arcanes on it, you have to have galvanized mods in order to have any chances of having fun. And because companions don't work, and you cannot synergize across different items in your build, like using amalgam mods for certain weapons to enable certain things in your build, or using dexterity arcanes to enable your melee build. Now we kinda have to make separate configs for a lot of things to make circuit experience smoother. All that is just more format, more platinum. And for what? Decrees are kinda a fun way to compensate for that, but now D added tons of them, so there's even less chance to make coherent builds, where those decrees stack together. Now, with more decrees, it takes longer on average to get good ones, and because enemies scale super fast in Steel Pad Circuit, that kinda makes it that much harder to stay longer, unless you get lucky in the cave and get something that works without decrees. Which all kinda defies the purpose of decrees. They're supposed to mitigate that RNG of not being able to get things you built properly. So it all ends up being a pack of frustration to me, which is sad because when I do get lucky with a good loadout, Steel Pad Circuit can be fun. Minus the defense, that's never fun. In terrible tiles. But if we take Circuit as an evolution of Sanctuary, we can see those improvements in how it plays. Just chances are you won't get a great loadout, and you'll reset 5 runs before you do get a decent loadout. I really don't enjoy doing that. I don't even know how would I fix this, because the baseline issue is that RNG choice, and that's made because DE didn't balance the game anywhere near properly, and certain things just break the game completely and ruin the fun for everybody involved. So instead of DE fixing that, they made it so that everyone suffers from poor choices. But that kind of a fix is a dream scenario. For Circuit, we're likely to have to meet in the middle, and DE will have to loosen up the RNG in the cave. I didn't even play this in public matchmaker much, but host transfer issues with everyone leaving after one stage because they got poor choices, that's all on DE, both on the design of duviri, but also on the lack of dedicated servers. Because we could kinda get along with this host system when warframe was young, but it's been 10 years and warframe is a game that rarely dips below 100,000 players across all platforms at any given time. They're expanding the studio and essentially doubling the staff on board for soulframe development. And with all that, I do not think that people are as forgiving about that host system now. Especially when you release a game mode that basically forces people to make host transfers happen all the time. I don't even know if ability to reroll choices completely would even make it fun. It's still a slot machine that will never give you a jackpot. So yeah, I'll take a break from this for sure, because I've been genuinely enjoying duviri, and this has started to spoil that part. I've been so done with the circuit that I dread that undercraft part of the bounty. Even clicked Alt F4 a few times because I just can't. But for the record, I'm playing solo. By the time we get more Incarnon weapons, I should be good to go for more, but for now, I'll do less Incarnon weapon videos and focus on other things in the game. That does not mean I won't do any of them, just until some changes happen to the circuit. Even getting a single weapon per week can sound like too much time in that place. This has been an overly negative video, but those positives circuit brings are easily trumped by the fact that nothing is on the player's shoulders. Everything is on that slot machine to give you choices, and basically the moment you see the roll, you know if it's gonna be a fun run or not, or even doable. Player never feels rewarded like they did something. I have to call this somehow because I'll just keep on ranting. Peace.